Milsurp Garage here with the Ranger 102.35. Huh? What? Is that a radio station? What is that? Well, let me tell you, this is really a Savage Model 29. Now I got to tell you, I tried to do some research. I tried to really make this video where I know what I'm talking about, but man, there's so much going on with these things. This is what's so cool about these guns. If you really want to just spend a week doing research on one of these things, you can, and you still will go away not knowing everything that there is to know about them. Some of these particular models, they're pretty convoluted. Let me get my paperwork. All right. I'm going to tell you what I know about this guy. Here's the story. Way back when these 22s were made, Savage would make a bunch of them in places like Sears, or what was the other one? Western Field. There was some company that bought ones that were called Western Field, and Sears, they were called Rangers. These companies, big companies like Sears, would buy. See, Sears now, I think didn't they just recently go out of business or close a bunch of stores? If you even know what Sears is, they're almost gone now. But they were huge. So a company like that would buy, it was like Walmart, you know what I mean? So they would buy up right from Savage. It's not like they made their own guns. They would buy them from Savage and say, we want to buy some of those and just put our name on it. We just want it to be called a Ranger. We want to sell them at Sears. I guess these businesses, they went for it. I mean, just these gun companies were like, whatever, if you want to buy a whole bunch of guns, that's what it was all about, like these contracts and stuff to buy certain amounts of them. I guess they didn't really care that their name wasn't attached to it. I guess they figured everybody will really know what it is. But I guess back in the day, you would get made fun of if you were like a kid and you know, your buddies would be like, wow, you got that Savage Model 29 that you kept asking your dad for? And you were like, yeah. And then they were like, no, wait a minute. Hold on. That says Ranger, man. That's all it really says on it. That's all this thing says on it is Ranger and 22 short, long, and long rifle. And somewhere on here is a serial number up here. The serial number's up, printed up under there. But that's it. If you see across the top of the barrel, there's nothing. There's no patents. There's no manufacturer, roll stamp in it, nothing. On the back of the butt plate, no Indian, the Savage Indian. Nope. Not here. So then you start like, all right, I'll just do research. Where does the 102.35 come from? Well, they had like certain ways to figure out what manufacturer they were. Like they were designated numbers, like 101 and 102 and 103, I think, were Savage. And then like 104, 105, they were from, Stevens or something like that. They had different numbers that designated what the manufacturer was. So like if you did a Google search and you put in Ranger 102.35, you'd see a bunch of pictures of this. And man, it's hard enough just getting the history of this gun, the Model 29, let's say. But then trying to mix in this whole Sears stuff, these special Sears ones, man, I can't even get like a date. The date range for these things is sick. They made these things all the way from like the 30s up into the late 50s, you know what I mean? So you're like, how do I? And then through wartime, they kind of like paused for a while and there were a lot of changes. Here's, before I just show you a lot of form and function, here's what I know. I know that there's some early features and there's late features. One of the early features is that the bolt release is this lever right here and not in the trigger guard more over here. So then there's a Savage Model 29A and a Savage 29B. Somewhere the A and the B thing matters. Oh, I don't know. I really tried to do enough research to even know, would this be considered the Savage A or B? And I'm coming up with, I think it's the A. And then you think the A would have been first and the B would have been later. But now I'm reading that the B might have been first and the A came later. That this changed here wasn't the first incarnation, it was the second incarnation. So I don't know, this might not be an early feature, it might be a late feature. Can't tell. And I see sights that don't have this screw. I see octagon barrels. I see plastic butt plates, and here I have a steel butt plate. So you would think that would be earlier, but I'm not 100% sure. There's no checkering. A lot of times these Sears ones, they came with just the plain Jane stuff. There's no checkering, and there's no scope mount in the receiver. So, and then here I read somewhere that let's get in here a little closer. We could see how the lockup, watch the bolt in here. You see how it comes down and back. And then when it comes forward, it goes up. The front of it lifts up. So you see this motion right here. I could actually, instead of pulling the bolt forward and back, it would actually go up and down, trying to get a nice grip on it to be able to make that happen. It locked again. Let me push it flat. See right here, there's like an up and down motion to the bolt. See that? And that lock up here in the front, see how it's locking up in the front? Up into a mortise up there. Can you see that in there? Yeah, you could see that. See that mortise that locks up into? That, I think, is an early feature. I think there was some kind of changeover where these things switched over to be able to use the high speed, the high velocity 22 stuff that came out. Kind of like when they made the switch from black powder to smokeless powder. There was like a changeover where you're like, all right, we made some modifications where you can use the high-speed ammo. And I think this is pre-modification, because I think the newer ones that were able to use the high-speed ammo locked up in the rear. They changed something. But that's what I'm reading. I could have read it. It could be completely the opposite. But somewhere in there lies the truth. There was definitely a change. I just use CCI target ammo in all of these, and I don't think you're going to end up with a problem. And then there's this whole thing about these firing pins too, that they're fat firing pins because the cases were made out of copper and it was softer. So then there's thin firing pins, thick firing pins, and I know I have a firing pin. I have nothing to compare it to. The pictures are really hard to tell, so I don't know. But let's zoom back out. Let's just see what I'm saying? My head is spinning with this thing. I want to do a video on it and talk about history, and you just got to go on and just start poking around yourself and look at all the craziness that I'm looking at. Let's just talk about what this thing has. Savage Model 29 is absolutely gorgeous. What can I tell you? The wood is beautiful. The fit and finish of the wood to the metal. Look at that. Look at that fit and finish. Gorgeous. These two screws right here could come out. A Lyman sight could go on there. It lays on the back like one of those. You've seen those things. It's really a nice one that hooks up to these. Cross bolt safety here. Takedown lever. Sight is one of those ones with the steps. See these guys? You just have these steps that it goes through. A little lighting problem. Let's fix the. See, that's what we got to work on next, is the lighting. And look at the forend. Look at how long the forend is. Long, thin forend. And there's people I read that said it's too thin for them, too small. But I just love the size of it, how it's nice and long. I got big hands, so just reaching over there, reaching and grabbing this thing. Some of them I feel are always too small. This one's nice. The loading tube here does not travel with the bolt. There's one action bar here. The loading tube does not travel with the slide, I mean. And, very conventional. Oh, and look, we always talk about this over here. Well, it's me telling you that it's one of my pet peeves. But this one, look at this positive engagement here. It clicks. I don't know if you could hear that. It actually clicks into this position here. Zoom in a little bit. It clicks into that position there. And then this movement it clicks out of there too. It has a like something that's making it actually overcome resistance. I guess that's down here at the base of the tube. There's probably a ball detent with a spring or something. And man, that makes all the difference. Thank God that's not missing. I gotta look. Maybe on some of my other ones it has that and it's missing. Who knows? Those are kind of the things that get lost when you taking them apart. But so this one doesn't really, you know, like come loose. But what a beautiful, nice, beautiful long magazine tube. And this one is known for its reliability. Beautiful. Whoops, sorry, I'm way out of frame. Beautiful crown there. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And it's not relined. Yeah, nice front sight. Gorgeous, this one. You know what this one's known for? This one's known for very, very positive function. It's known for its reliability. It has a very interesting design here inside. Let's get inside first, even before I show you some rounds go through it. Let's. So some of the particulars here. It takes short, long, and long rifle. It's 20 shorts, 16 longs, and 14 long rifles. We unscrew the takedown screw. It has like a captive thing here where we won't let it completely come out. Do we want the bolt open or closed for this one? For this one, let's leave the bolt closed for separation here. And boom, there we go. There's the receiver with the bolt inside. Let's release it and you can see the bolt moving back and forth in there. It will lock even on its own because the release stays here, whereas on those other ones that I've seen, the release is kind of on here or attached. I guess it's on this side. It's somehow attached to this piece. It's like different versions of this mechanism, and I don't know if this one is early or late. That's the thing. I don't really know. Why won't the hammer fall? Interesting. Did it once. I forgot exactly what did I do to make the hammer fall. I had to hold something else, but I forgot what. I think it might have been that. Nope. Bugging out on camera. I don't know why I can't drop the hammer. I remember I was messing with it yesterday and I did get it to fall somehow. Another serial number in here, so you could match this serial number to this, which they do match, which is pretty cool. So you know that both halves are, you know, were originally together from the factory. Look, somebody marked off like squirrels or something on here. You know. So let's see, what else do we have here? The serial numbers, there was some weird stuff going on with the serial numbers with these. I mean, there was a serial number behind the buttstock and on the, something really cool with this rifle. You know what? I'm not going to take it out, though. Should I take it out? Should have taken it out before the video, but rest assured, it's not really that big of a thing to look at because it's just a little teeny piece of a receipt. But there's a little teeny piece of a receipt that was rolled up and stuck inside the hole in the buttstock. It was a receipt for a replacement barrel. You know, that could answer a lot of questions about the barrel being round with early features. Completely forgot about that when I was going through my dating it process. This barrel is not the original barrel because it was replaced by Sears or something. It's like a little piece of receipt. It doesn't say who did it or even the date. But on the bottom, the revision date for the form was like 47 or something like that. You know what I mean? But there was no date for when it was done. It just said replace barrel assembly, you know, like that. And it was stuck. So what I did was I took it out of here and I kind of like laminated it, rolled up and stuck it back in there again just so it wouldn't degrade. Now let's take a look at how this thing functions. This again is an easy one to to take apart and put back together. I shouldn't say that until it actually goes back together. You jinx yourself that way. If you start talking about how, see, I don't have the bolt closed. That wasn't closed all the way, and then you can't let that lift up. So it's better to do it this way. As much as I want to show you from an angle that shows the most going on, there's always really a way that these go back in. See, like, this is the way you want to do it, because then this gets to hang down here, you know. So that was the way to do it, even though it's kind of like the boring side to look at. There's always a certain orientation where these things go together the easiest. So now as far as loading goes, again, smooth as butter this one is. It really is. Boom. These, once again, these are dummy rounds, snap caps. You can't actually drop the hammer on them because the firing pin will contact them and chew them up. And remember, we spoke about that. We spoke about how easy is it to capture them into the magazine tube. This one, see what I mean? You know quality. That's when they say it feeds and it works good. Check this out. Let me get some stuff out of the way here. This one is weird because I have to put up something here to stop the round from flying across my workshop here. It's probably going to happen anyway. For you, though, for you guys, I'd do anything. Now, check this out. Let's zoom in here. See how cool this controlled feed type of thing is here with this guy. Now, watch this. Do we have good lighting going on here? Watch how cool this is. You see it, right? The round? Now we just set the hammer, and then as you can already see it, as it starts to close, see that lifter push it up? And just carry it and guide it right in there. It's almost like it's like a big piece of ordnance on like a Navy boat, the way that's just lifted and carried up in there, and then boom, the lockup. You see that? Now watch how the coolest thing about this is that the next round, it's already there. See that? It's ready to go already. This thing is like, get that brass out of here, because I got another round for you. And the firing pin here, we spoke about this in one of my earlier videos. There is no extractor. There is no ejector. There's definitely an extractor kind of like on either side on this bolt. But there is no ejector. The ejector is the firing pin. The firing pin pulls double duty here. See, when we reach as far as we can go, see, but the thing with this is, I can't just push and have it come out. It won't come out that way. It has to actually, this is where we talk about the across the workshop thing. I'm just going to have to watch to see where this goes. It actually has to be snapped. Like that type of motion to get rid of it. Because of the way it works, it won't let itself be gently guided out. And then once again, there goes that lifter. See, that time it got by me where it worked kind of quick, so it was tough to see. But so again now, that just shot across the shop. All right, got one here. See where the other one is. And again now, see, there's the round ready to go. Nice, right? Bang. See, then look at that. It just comes right in there. Hello. Hello. Goodbye. Ooh, I think that one disappeared for good. I think that one might be complete history. I'm going to leave that one in there just for prosperity. Now let's get it out. We'll eject it. And boom. Oh, nice. Very positive ejection from this guy, and a very, very tight, controlled feed to the way it feeds rounds in. Model 29. I like it. I do. The wood on it is beautiful. The patina here is gorgeous. I like that it's a Ranger. It has everything that I would have wanted a 29 to have. The steel butt plate. And it seems like these are the features to have. I don't really mind if it's not the one that fires the high speed, you know? Yeah, I got a little grease in the, there you go. little grease got in there. So let's open this up again. Let's take another look at that bolt in there. Now that you saw what that actually does, let's take a closer look in there. You got to appreciate that. Look, there's a way you could just kind of lift the bolt right up and out. See that? It's not like it's some kind of mystery at all. Look at that. That is a genius design. Design! Oh my God, that's what I forgot to research. Who's the freaking designer? Oh, I forgot how to do this now. It's never going to go back together now. Oh, there we go. It's never going to go back together. Okay. Boom, see? And then that's the way to do it with that hanging down. See how quick that could go if you're like taking this out of your knapsack when you're hunting and you're ready to rock and roll to get that rabbit to eat or something. That's how quick you're ready to rock and roll. And then an oil fingerprint on it. Designer, who designed this thing? Oh no. All right, I'm gonna have to go to my book. I'm sorry, people, but I gotta start wasting your time to look through here to see who it was that came out with this thing. Who is the guy? I did read a name of a guy that designed this thing. That book's talking about a lot about it, but it doesn't. If it doesn't immediately say who designed it, you're sunk. Oh, I'm done. You guys are gonna have to look it up. That's terrible. It's terrible to do to the guy. Oh, here we go. Here's some talking. Stick with me. Did anyone find it yet? I'm done. I don't have it. I should have had that here. It should be in my paperwork. Why is this not written down on my paperwork? I have a little thing written up on every gun that I have, and it usually says who designed it, but I don't know in this case. Who did the... All right, I had to jump off because to be honest, my phone rang and completely ended the video. I got to continually remember to go into airplane mode when I make a video, but it doesn't matter anyway because it gave me an opportunity to go look it up to see that Arthur William Savage designed the Savage Model 29. How appropriate. Savage himself. I don't really know much about Savage even. It's one of those things where I'll read about a particular gun here or there, but I don't actually have a Savage book. I have a Remington book. I have a Marlin book. I have a Winchester book. Mauser books up the yin yang. I do not have a Savage book, or even Stevens, like we were doing the visible loader and the Savage Stevens connection thing. It's interesting. I really got to look around and see if there's actually just a book to devour to know about these guys. But there it is. I'm sorry, Mr. Arthur William Savage, that I didn't have your name come right off the tip of my tongue when I was talking about what a beautiful design you came up with here. But yeah, that was the story. I don't remember who the 1914. We did that one already. Did we even talk about who the designer was? It's sticking in my head that it was somebody pivotal, but now I can't remember. I don't have that written down either. I gotta update my paperwork, man. Well, anyway, this is a good opportunity to learn how to stitch two videos together too, because I always wanted to know how to do that, and now I'm gonna have to learn how to do that, or have a video that just ends abruptly like I'm an idiot. So let's have two videos end not abruptly like I'm an idiot, and I bid you guys adieu. I fully believe in the what do you call it? The supernova type of YouTube videoing, where I just suddenly explode and then burn out and lay dormant for years. That's kind of like the best way to do the YouTube videos. So I'm going to be committed right now to do one because I missed a few days there on these 22s, and man, I just feel like there's a million of these things to freaking do for you guys that are watching. The 100 of you that I might get as viewers within a couple of weeks of putting one out, and not that I'm scoffing at that. I love you, 100 guys. That's what I'm doing them for. I'm going to do a video. Today's Friday. I'm going to do one tomorrow on Saturday. I'm going to do one on Sunday because I'm off this weekend. So there you go. This is Fridays, the Savage Model 29. What you want to see for Saturday and Sunday. If I get some people specifically requesting one and I have it, I will do it. You could request a brand. You could request a type. You could say do one newer, do one older. Whatever I got a really cool one lined up. I think I know what I want to do tomorrow. I might not listen to you about tomorrow, but maybe for Sundays. But I think I already got that lined up. I'd love to give you a little hint, but I'm not going to ruin it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I hear everybody say that on YouTube. I guess that means something. If I get like a lot of likes or something, does that do something? Does that put me in like some kind of upper YouTube echelon? Who knows? But over 1,000 subscribers, they sent me like a congratulations email. That was pretty cool. And end of story. Oh, by the way, I what do you call it? Well, I'm not even going to talk about that. I totally changed my mind. I'm going to see if I want. I got to think about this for a minute. I'm going to see if I want to discuss it next time. It might be something I need to keep under my hat, but stay tuned. I don't mean to leave you hanging, but should have thought about that before I opened my mouth. Stay tuned, and I'll see you dudes tomorrow. And dudettes later.